Welcome to my channel, Stitchy Sam. I'm Sam of Stitchy Sam here on FlossTube, but also on Instagram. So check out all of my whips during the month as well. This is my November and the start of December review and update. Unfortunately, I had all intentions to film at the end of November, but unfortunately I had a cough and a cold and I was really bunged up. There was no way anybody should see me in that state, so I delayed filming, and then December happened, and as with everyone, I think I'm extremely busy. Fortunately today, which is Friday the 19th of December, I have a day off work and my son is at school, so I thought I would put in this recording right now while the house is relatively quiet. So I've got some my whips to update you on. I don't have any haul per se, although I have had a little purchase, but I'll tell you all about that in my plans video, which I plan to record over the next week or so. So we'll get started and going through those whips, and I will try and show you previous photos as well, and I need to really try hard to remind you of what fabric I'm using and threads and so on. I just get wrapped up in the videos. I do have a few notes below, so if I look down, that would be the reason why. But I've got all the whips here handy to, well, most of the whips here handy to show you. So the first thing I want to show you, my focus piece, which is Mario Pose from the Not Enough Stitcher on Etsy. This is 25 count easy grid fabric using CXC threads 1/1. So you can see here, actually I'll show you my previous photo. You can see that I've made a lot of progress since the last one. So hopefully you can see that. Okay, so this is what Mario looks like now. I'm absolutely chuffed that you can now see his glove. I'm now moving across to more of his hat to finish off that emblem on his hat, and it's going to look more like a picture rather than just a cloud, so to speak. So Mario is 11.35%. Somehow I completely missed the 10% mark. I forgot to take a photograph of that. But since I've last done the video, I've actually put in nearly 1,000 stitches, which doesn't sound a lot for some people, but for me, it's a lot. So really impressed with that. I've still got 118 stitches to put in before tomorrow's match, football match, sorry, just tripping over my words there. There's a lot of matches in December, and that's why there's been that number of stitches required. So yes, so that's Mario Pose, and yeah, I'm hoping to get an awful lot more done on that in the next week as we come towards the end of the year. And then on my wheel in November, the first chart to be picked out was this one. It doesn't actually have a name of the chart, so I always call it Snowy Pals. And you can see there's a snowman and a reindeer and what looks like a polar bear and a little penguin at the bottom. I actually took this along to the craft club that I go to. So whilst I only got it out for that one day, I did have quite a few hours stitching on it. Hopefully we'll be able to see this. A lot of it is white on white, which is don't like that. There's obviously going to be some back stitching there, so that will really pick out the features. And what I did, apologies, we do have some sunshine today, which, whilst welcome, creating a lot of shadows. you can see, I have completed more of his chin, the bear's chin, and I worked along doing the scarf of is it the reindeer? Yes, so started working on that. So I was enjoying working on a bit of colour, alternating a little bit with the white. But yeah, it's really, really coming together. Not my most favourite design, but I will get it finished eventually. And just, it's nice when it gets into the colder months to do that particular design. The next one, unfortunately, I don't have down here. It's been put away and I can't find it right now, but the next design is a day in the life of Hello Kitty. I'll show you what it looks like finished here, and then I'll show you what it looked like previously at my whip parade earlier in the year, and then I will show you what it looks like now. I feel like I made quite a lot of progress here, a lot of block colours, which was a relief after stitching on Mario for quite a period of time. I'd stitched for 6 days on this. I just really enjoyed stitching it, but after a while it does get tiresome. All that pink, it's just, well, pink's my favourite colour really, but I'm hoping next time I pick it up to finish filling in the colour of the second Hello Kitty, and some more of the border. What I do is I sort of alternate between the two, so, because it gets really monotonous doing all that pink all the time. So the next design that was on the wheel in November was Frederick the Literate. Now this is by Dimensions. There we go. That's what it would look like when it's complete. And this design came at a really good time for me because unfortunately my very old cat, she passed away in November. Just trying not to get emotional, but Frederick looks very much like my old Peggy cat. So it was actually a joy to pick out this. It's on black, I think, looking at it, not sure what count it is. I'll see if it says it on the package. Oh, it's 14 count. I thought it was. So black 14 count Aida. I'll use the bag to cover up those holes, otherwise you're going to see it all the way through. And this is what it looked like previously, and this is what it looks like now. Oh gosh, there we go. I worked on this book here. Unfortunately, I did unpick a piece here, I frogged a piece that I'd done previously, you've seen on the before picture, because I thought I'd miscounted, because I put this first, started at the middle, worked way along the bookshelf, and then worked the books this way. So I just was worried that I'd miscounted. What I didn't do is you see that line there, that brown line there? I didn't include that my counting, so it was right all along, but I'll pop that back in next time I pick it up. So yeah, the back stitching will really bring this to life even more, but I just love that this picture will forever remind me of my own cat. She was very old, approximately 19 years. She was a rescue cat. So it was very heart-wrenching. But anyway, less of that. It's Christmas after all. The next one on the wheel was a design called Blossoming Hedgehog. It's from the World of Cross Stitching. I do have a picture of what it will look like when complete, so I'll put that here. And then I will show you what it did look like. Now, the fabric, I think it's by Chromatic Alchemy, which doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what the shade is, unfortunately, and I think it's 36 count even weave. So this is what the hedgehog looks like now, and I'm so impressed with myself that I got a lot done. It felt like I was finally making progress on this one. So what I've done is I worked along the bottom all the green, so I did that, and that really gave me a foundation and a basis for the flowers. So I've done the flowers. Actually, there's not that many to go. It sort of curves around here, so I think there's not that many. I should be able to finish the stitching, the full stitches for the hedgehog next time, and then start work on the back stitch. And then I can start work, and then I can move on to the lettering and the flowers surrounding the hedgehog. So yeah, really cute, really enjoyed that, stitching that one. What I really enjoy with the wheel is that, and making sure I stitch on everything. Every time that I pick something up that I haven't stitched in a while, it feels like almost like a new start. So just keeps everything fresh. So I'll just pop that one back in the bag. Okay. And I was unsure about that fabric colour, but I do think that's, as the time has gone on, it really looks great. And when the back stitch is in, it's not going to matter too much that some of the purples used in the stitching very similar to the colour of the fabric. So that was that one. And the final one I've got to show you today is my 2023 reading tracker bookshelf. I've been working on the back stitch and putting in some of the books. Now this is what it's to look like, but you can pretty much see from the work that I've completed. So it's here, but I'm just going to get the grime guard put to one side. The fabric is 18 count from Coffee Crafts fabric. She doesn't have any names or details for each of her fabrics, so it's just sort of like a grey marble effect fabric, and I've been stitching along here. I've been adding additional books and putting some back stitch in. I'm not too happy with how some of the back stitching looks with the CXC threads which I've used here. I'm using 2/1. Maybe it's just because it's a bit too bulky on the 18 count, although the back stitch is only one strand. So I'm just a little bit undecided. I'm just hoping that once it's complete, you'll not really look at that. So I'm really enjoying how it's now, the shelf is almost full. We've just got one more row of the blue there and 2 stitches at the bottom, and then the back stitch, and then that top shelf is done. What I'm going to try to do in the future when I pick it up is to try and finish a shelf at a time, and the next shelf down doesn't have too many books because there's not that much space because the cacti are on there. So that's really good, and I really like it. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to find some text to put the date 2023 there, just for reference. I'll not be doing another book tracker, but it was an interesting chart. I love books. I read and listen to a lot of books during the year, so it was just nice to track. I think that year it was 44 books. The design allows for up to 52, but obviously I'm a bit few down on that, so I'm going to take out a few books here and there to fill the space. Okay, so that's my bookshelf. Now this video is quite short. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'm going to be recording another video with all of my 2026 plans there coming together nicely, and also I'll have my end of year achievements, number of whips worked on, number of starts, finishes, and so on. And sometime in January I'm planning on a whip parade, so watch this space. So if you like what you see and you want to see more, you know what to do. Subscribe and click the follow as well, so you don't miss any of my videos. So I've got one last thing to do, and that's a giveaway. I've got a giveaway today. So many whips down here. It's something that was gifted to me. It's sort of nearly new because it's the Country Companions Collector's Edition chart book. So it's got all those charts in. But the good thing about it is it comes with all the thread cards, and I've looked and I don't think they've been used. They're all DMC threads, so 3 lots there, so that you can stitch the majority of those patterns, I guess. It's not really my cup of tea. So if you want to win this one, let's think of a word. If you can call it, put something like, there's a post box there. If you can just put post somewhere in your comment, you'll go in the draw, and I will draw the name on New Year's Eve, and I will include the winner in my end of year achievements video, when I'm going to also try and record New Year's Eve as well, or New Year's Day, something like that. So you have until New Year's Eve, the 31st of December, to put post in a comment if you would like to win this, with all the lovely cute hedgehogs and mice, and yeah, they're really cute. And there was a place for them in my life at one point, but sadly not anymore. Tastes have changed. So that's a nice Christmas treat, or post-Christmas treat. I'll be able to ship that in the UK, unfortunately, because it's quite big and bulky. I won't be able to ship that outside of the UK. I don't require you to be a subscriber, but it'd be nice if you were. And I'm not affiliated with YouTube or Facebook, and all of the other small print terms that others use. So that's great. Oh, I also wanted to mention that I've been really enjoying the Flossmas videos in the last couple of weeks. The 2 that are most notable for me are cheesecake and cross stitching. She is just so amusing to watch, very sing-songy, but she has multiple advent calendars, some stitchy, some crochet, some non-craft related, like treat box. and it's just really good to see what's behind each door. I don't personally have any sort of advent calendar, so unfortunately I can't do that, but I'm living vicariously through you all. And the second one is Stitchy Bug, so I had to think of that, Stitchy Bug, and I actually only started watching her yesterday, but I appreciate your honesty and true reactions to things that are in the calendar. I know that there's varying different opinions on various different calendars. It's just really interesting to see, and I may very well be tempted to get one of my own for next year, but we shall see regarding that, and I'll try and include that in my plans video when I record that later this week. So I hope you're all well and you planning a brilliant festive time. If you're not, just remember to turn on some FlossTube and you're among friends. So in the meantime, Merry Christmas and happy stitching. Thank you.